James pulled into the shunting yards with a very long line of brand new express coaches. He boasted endlessly about how splendid he looked with the brand new express coaches. Thomas was growing fed up with James's boasting, so he picked up a telephone and called in a favor, and had James eaten by the But I think James got what he deserved, don't you? No, not really. James was only showing off these brand new Orbrium express coaches, which I ordered for the sole purpose of having more than just 2 express coaches. Now I have 8 of them, so now multiple legends can pull the express. But you didn't click on this video to talk about trains, you clicked on this video to talk about beasts of the Mesozoic Albertosaurus. But before I can talk about this guy, I gotta talk about this guy. This was, probably, I'm pretty sure it is, my first Albertosaurus. I've had him for who knows how long, since I was very little. When I was a little boy, I remember taking a family vacation to Drumheller and visiting the Royal Tyrrell Museum. One of the main attractions of that museum was the Albertosaurus. The fact that there was a relative of the Tyrannosaur that was named after a province in my country was really exciting to little old me, to little tiny Zane. So, of course, that's how Albertosaurus became my favorite Tyrannosaur. Guanlong was my second favorite, but that's another story. And for as long as I can remember, this was my only Albertosaurus. Until eventually Mattel finally made their own Albertosaurus, and this became my signature Albertosaurus. And then soon after I got this green one, because it's just a lot easier for filming dino duels with the convenient tail controls. I really wish they used more of this gimmick, because it really is just one of the better gimmicks this line has done. Because this is just so convenient for filming with. I almost got the blue version, but then I decided against it because I don't remember. Wait, was that one also battle damage, or was that one like primal attack? I honestly can't remember. Either way, those were my all of my Albertosauruses back then. This being my most recent Albertosaurus in my very small collection of 4 Albertosauruses, and this one obviously being the best because Beast of the Mesozoic just does stellar work. So right off the bat, I will say that the green is not as vibrant as I thought it would be. This is kind of very military-esque colors. I don't know what animal this is based off, because I know the Beast of the Mesozoic, all of their paint jobs are based off of real animal color schemes, and this is no different. But I just have no idea what animal uses these colors. But either way, I still like this paint job. Although Gorgosaurus, Beast of the Mesozoic Gorgosaurus, is the best color scheme of these big Tyrannosaurs. But Albertosaurus, as I just said, is my favorite Tyrannosaur. So of course I was going to pick it over the Gorgo. If they had... Granted, I basically have my mindset of how I associate each colors. Like, Albertosaurus I always associated with the color green. Gorgosaurus I associated with the color blue. Daspletosaurus I associated with the color purple. And Tarbosaurus is just, usually it's like a jack of all trades colors. Mostly black, but I can go with any color, really. One thing I will note, the first time I opened this thing's mouth, a tooth popped out. And I was worried that I got a defective one, but I kept looking inside the mouth, but I could not find a single spot where a tooth was out of place. So I guess that this Albertosaurus came with an extra tooth for free, which is weird, but okay. Another thing I noticed is that the tongue is crooked in the mouth. Like, it's actually sticking out of its ball socket a bit. So, but I'm not gonna complain about a tongue. It's a tongue. Who cares if it's crooked? So other than that, it's your average, what you basically expect from a Beast of the Mesozoic review. It looks great, it feels great, its colors are great, its articulation is stiff as a brick. I mean, like, that looks good, but then it's basically... Oh, I just dropped the Changosaurus. It's kind of no different than the Bistaheversur in terms of articulation. I guess it's... honestly, I think the Albertosaurus is slightly... No, you don't, I caught that. Slightly more improved than the Bista, but like, not that much, so really not that much range of motion in terms of the neck. But I think I still have more fun posing this one over the Bista. Like, I actually did test out the articulated legs, and it posed pretty well, honestly. The Bista is like kind of harder to pose with those articulated legs, which is why I always keep the stiff ones on. I did switch back to the stiff ones because I know that's better for like stability, for long-term stability, because I'm gonna put this on a shelf. I don't want it to topple over and take everyone else out with it. So, but still, I did have a lot of fun posing it, but there is one pose in particular that I like the most. If Prehistoric Planet has taught me anything about dinosaur mating rituals, is that all a male dinosaur has to do is stick his nose in the air and maybe wiggle his arms around. So lo and behold, here is my Albertosaurus trying to show off his moves. The best part is this works so well because his throat is actually blue, which is, it's my favorite color. I'm only now noticing just how many of my favorite characters are associated with the color blue. And now that this Albertosaurus does have blue on his throat, so it's like, this is the pose. I will display him on my shelf in this pose. And I guess this kind of proves that the Albertosaurus does have better neck articulation than the Bistaheverser, because this is as far up as the Bistaheverser can go, even when standing on his legs like that. But the Albertosaurus is reaching for the sky, man. But no matter how hard they try, they will never be a match for the articulation on the Changosaurus. Look at how far that neck can go. So there's all the... wait a second. There he is with not all of them, but there we go. There's all my Tyrannosaurs, all side by side. This is basically all of the beasts of the Mesozoic Tyrannosaurs I plan to get because I don't want, as much as I do like the Eutyrannus and the Gorgosaurus, I don't want to get duplicates of the same body plan, which means I settled on the Bistaheverser, which means I will not get the UT or the Drypto. I settled on the Guanlong, so I will not be getting the Suskityrannus. I settled on the Albertosaurus, so I will not be getting the Gorgosaurus. Maybe 10 years from now I'll change my mind, but for now, this is my Tyrannosaur series collection. Not my last Beast of the Mesozoic figures, though, because I'm still expecting the Utahraptor to come eventually. Apparently, for the Beast of the Cyberzoic, they teased Acrocanthosaurus, Edmontonia, Miragaia. Those are 3 I would really love to get. And I do know that there is a 1/18th Smilodon on the way, in the works, so that is another one I really want to get as well. For more size comparisons, here are all my Albertosauruses, minus the duplicate of this one, because that's kind of irrelevant. All side by side. Again, all associated with the color green. I mean, that one's more of a gold, but it's still greenish color. Maybe this is why I always associate Albertosaurus with green. There it is with the Hammond Collection T-Rex, who doesn't even fit on the screen. It is still way bigger, especially those feet. Like, I try to ignore the critiques of the Tyrannosaurus because I don't really care about it, but now that I have more things to compare it with, it's really hard to ignore now. Still, it's still my best T-Rex out of any T-Rex I have because I don't really have another articulated T-Rex, and this is, again, still my go-to T-Rex for videos. It's gonna take a lot more than giving something Kingdom Hearts shoes for me to consider it bad. Here it is next to the recently painted Spinoceratops, a bit of a self-plug-in because I'm still really happy with how this turned out. A little comparison with the evil Dromaeosaurus just for funsies. Montague, Ultimate Valtryek, and last but not least, my clay Molly McGee, who finally escaped the clutches of the Bistaheverser. Because, as I said in that little video, he was not going to let go of Molly McGee until the Albertosaurus arrived, and here he is. And yeah, that concludes my video on the Beast of the Mesozoic Albertosaurus. So before I leave, I will just leave you with this image of all the Tyrannosaurs displaying their necks in the air. What a sight. What a sight. This is the only reason you would buy the Tyrannosaur series, just so you could do this.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the video from beginning to end. If you want to see more, subscribe to the channel and join the Zane Reborn community. See you in the next one. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye!